Hello, my name is Alberto and I'm gonna help you today assemble one of our bedsides. On this case, the 101 bedside, the 2-drawer bedside. For the sake of the speed, of course, I have already opened the box, but most of the parts that you find in the box are two sides. So we got two side panels, left and right. You know which one is the left and the right because they are different. The front is painted, the back has a big groove for the back panel. So left and right, we got 4 runners, which will be attached to the side panels, a back panel up top, 3 crossbars, and drawers. You will find 2 drawers. I have already assembled one of them for the speed of the video, but I will show you how to assemble the other one. So each drawer you find 2 side drawers, one of the back drawers, a base, and a drawer front. All the fixing kit is going to be inside the little box, cartoon box. Again, I already opened it. So inside you will find some wooden dowels, some longer screws, 14mm screws, and some short screws, little nails, and that's pretty much it on the bedside. So very simple in this case. All the tools that you really need to assemble these is a screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, simple one. Try not to use the chunky ones because they tend to stop to get all the way in. So the screw, if it is too chunky, it would catch on the wood. So better to use this very simple screwdriver. And of course a little hammer, the simple hammer. I use a small one, it's easy to handle because the little nails are very small. And this is just to attach, of course, the back panel. But for the sake of the speed, I'm gonna leave this out and I will be using a normal power drill. Very simple, very cheap. The instructions are pretty simple, not many words, pretty much just figures, but I'll show you how to do it. This is the way I would do it. I've done 100 of times before, and I'll show you how I do it. First things first, I like to put a little, cloth, just to avoid, parts scratching, so it's always easy. I usually use a blanket, simple blanket, nothing special, on a table. You can do this on your dining table. So, first things that I like to do is just to get rid of some of these little dowels. You find that on the crossbars they would have little holes, 2 holes each end. I just fit these little dowels on the holes. It just kind of clears some of the parts on the table. Both sides. So you have 4 each. That's what I do. Right. Second step, we attach the crossbars to the side panel. So just choose one of the sides. In this case, the right hand side. Just put it flat on the floor. And you find 3 bars, which is number 4. They will be numbered. There will be a stamp on them. Number 4, number 6, and this one will be number 5. The number 5, which you find is unfinished, you see that 2 of them are finished and 1 is not. The unfinished one goes at the back. So this being the front, that one goes at the back. Here you could choose to put the screw on the inside or on the outside. It doesn't really matter. But I like to put it on the inside because if you put it on the outside, once you put the back panel, it kind of is going to be on the way. The head might be on the way. Not a big issue, but as a practice, I just like to put it on the inside. So that goes on the back. And then, of course, we got 2 finished ones. They are the same length. The only difference between them is that one of them is going to have a hole. So the one with the hole, which is the number 4, is going to go on the front, on the top, sorry, right at the top. And the reason for that is once you put the top, this hole is going to be used to attach to the top. And always make sure that the countersink hole, which is the part where the head of the screw goes straight in, is facing down, not up. Because if you put the other way around, which you could put it that way there, it's still unfinished, but then of course the screw is not going to be long enough because the screw head doesn't go in. So the way is that way. And then of course the leftover by deduction, that goes in there. Always the finish on the outside. And then to attach them, you find that there is holes. you need one screw each. There is a hole in there, a countersunk hole. Just screw them in. Just make sure that they are very nice and tight, because if they are not tight, it's going to be quite wobbly. So 3 screws in there. There you go, nice and tight. And what we do now, we just put the next one down, which is the other side, and just put this on top. Again, same thing, just find the little dowel holes, fit them in, they should fit quite nicely. Now, my power drill is not going to reach it, but then I will use a small one, probably a stubby one in here. So same process. This time I'm going to do it manually because my power drill is too long for it. Use the longer one? Probably use And it's always nice to screw it down opposite to going up, because if you're going down, you can put your weight on it. It's much easier. And again, just make sure that it's nice and tight. Okay. And the last one. Right, nice and tight. So then we got a frame on the bedside, that being the front and that being the back. So the next thing we do now, we want to put the top on, which is that one. Top again, you would have a front. You find the difference is that there is a groove at the back, which is going to be where the back panel is going to be fitting. So just put the top on the floor. Again, we're going to need 4 dowels. We can put the dowels. I prefer to put the dowels on the frame rather than on the top, and I'll show you why. Because once you turn it around, that being the front, so front to front, you can see the dowels going in. It's all easy to see it. Just like that. So then you got the frame on. Now you find that we have 5 holes. 1 on the front, I'm not sure if you can see that, and 2 either side. Again, longer screws for it. And that is where the hole comes alive. So the screw goes straight in. That's the purpose of it. If you're doing this with a power drill, just make sure that you don't go too far, because the screw might go through the top. If you do it by hand, very unlikely to happen. Right, so that is our bedside with the top. All we need now is, next step, runners. So you'll find 4 runners. They have a different shape. That will be the front and that will be the back, just to allow for the different shape of the front and back legs. So they will go like that. On this case, longer screw on the back. Again, this will be pretty obvious because you cannot use the short one for the back, so you would have to be the long one. So long one on the back, short one on the front. You will find that there is the pilot holes on the front and back, so you know exactly where the screw goes. nice and easy. Again, I'm gonna have to use the manual in this case. Nice and tight. Just try and use it. Just that it's a bit fat. The little screw is small. There you go. Just put the front one first. Very easy. I'm gonna show. Just find the hole. That's one side. The same thing on the other side. So here, just get small screws. Nice and tight. Right, so that's that side with the runners. Next step, back panel. Back panel, which will be that part. You'll see that you will fit nicely inside that side. And then you will find the little tacks. A few of them. And then just a simple hammer. I usually like to start from the top. And just try, important tip here is to make sure that the back panel is square with the frame, because this is what's going to give the stability. So just put it right at the top, a few nails in there. Usually just put 3 at bedside, like this is very small. 3 should be more than enough. Nice and square, 3 at the bottom. And just put another 4 in here, 1 at the bottom. 1 on the top, and then 2 more. Should be enough. And a couple of spares. Right, so that's that side. The next thing is the drawers. I'll show you how to assemble the drawer. Front drawer, flat on the floor, drawer base, just fit it in. This is the easiest way of doing it, really. I've done it a few times and tried everything, and this is the easiest way of doing it. Just assemble the drawer. And then you just turn it around. Again, the purpose of that is that you'll be screwing it down, opposite to screwing on the side. So like this, the drawer kind of just stays in place as you were doing it. You are going to need 3 screws either end. on this case 3 in there. Always try and get the, choose a side. I usually choose the bottom and make sure that it's nice and flush, front and back, nice and square. On the front ones here, I usually like to give it a little bit of an angle going towards the drawer front, maybe a 5-10 degrees angle, just a little bit, just to make sure that the screw doesn't come out on the inside. So 3 screws in there. Again, make sure that it's nice and tight. Screw heads nice and flush with the wood. Turn around, just keep it tight and just turn around. Again, same process. Keep it nice and flush, give it a bit of an angle on the front, nice and flush at the bottom. Screws in there. Flush, square. Right, so that's the drawer assembled. Now all we need is to put a little, and on this case I'm putting a little wooden knob. So you would see it on the instructions. It says H, which is a 35mm screw, or an F, which is a bolt. The screw 35mm is used for the wooden knob. Is that the instructions? They are general instructions, so they will be used for the metal knob or the wooden knob. On this case, the wood, so we will be using the H screw. But if you have metal knobs on yours, you will not need the H screws. You only need the F bolts, which will be inside. Just a little note. Some people don't notice that. So there you go. Just again, just a touch. Nice and tight. And that's the drawer assembled. You will find there is some holes on either side. One hole in there, 2 holes in there, and another 2 holes in there. Those holes, they are the drawer stoppers. Very simple system. We use the dowels. So just put the dowels into it from the inside, but keep it flush. Don't put them through as yet. And what happens is, once you put them inside, so at the moment, if you put them in, the drawer will literally just fall off. It just comes off. But if you put them in, you just pass. If you just pass the frame, and then you push them in a little bit. Don't have to go all the way. Just push them a little bit in, and then it would stop. Very simple system. It works just fine. And then, of course, I got the next drawer, which I pre-assembled before, for the sake of the speed. Same thing. Just insert a little dowels, put it on the frame, and that's your bedside. Just put in stoppers. That's the bedside done. If you have any issues with the drawers, the frame not lining up properly, very simple, just pull the drawer out. Let me just undo this. Just pull the drawer out and you can adjust, literally just unscrew the front, don't need to worry about the back, just unscrew this little screw, move the runner up and down as if you wish, as required, and just put the screw on, back on. You will notice, of course, that the screw is going to tend to fall into the same hole, but to avoid that, just give it an angle, choose an angle up or down, and then the screw will find his own, his own hole, his new hole again. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you enjoy the bedside. Thank you for the purchase. Thanks a lot.